I'm Rene Ritchie, and I'm a tech analyst.
I'm Georgia Down, I'm a psychotherapist.
And welcome to Apple Talk, where psychology meets technology.
And we discuss companies like Facebook and Apple and Google and how they intersect in our human lives.
But Facebook is supposed to be changing their name.
Yes, it'll be face huggers.
Well, Google became Alphabet. Like, Google is really Alphabet, and Alphabet owns Google now. It's all very confusing. So maybe it'll just be that, like, Metaverse Incorporated owns Facebook.
I think face huggers is good.
Face huggers is good, but I think it's taken. James Cameron might sue. Or who was it before James Cameron?
It would be apropos, but not as cool.
Before we get started, though, I just want to let you know that CuriosityStream is being incredibly generous and donating their sponsor time this week so we can tell you all about Team C's. Hashtag Team C's. We'll do that, later on in the episode because first, Georgia, Apple, again, they won't stop. What's their problem?
What? They keep on releasing things? Is that what you're
More
saying?
products. Like The Rock says, we got to give the people more. Apple's becoming The Rock.
Right. So what are we, which one are we talking about?
So
Renee?
we done the phones?
We've done the phones.
We've done the watches?
We've done the watches.
All right, so now that was the September event. Now it's the October event, and we started off with colored HomePods, and
because everyone cares about having their HomePod being different colors to match their
well,
home.
I mean, if you don't care about colors, we have got AirPods 3 for you.
Yeah, so we have
Those
the
are
old
AirPods
ones.
too?
Here we go.
Those are the
old
OG,
ones.
the
Here we
originals?
go. Wait.
You're gonna take them out?
I'm
Okay.
taking them out.
This case is still nice and satisfactory, snappy.
Case still feels good.
And those are AirPods 3.
Wait. Let's do the pros.
AirPods Pro.
Here we have the pros.
With the little silicone tips.
It has a little tiny silicone tip, which I find very comfortable.
Silicone tip.
Silicone
Surgery, silicone tip. Maybe they're both. No, actually, I don't know.
Okay.
One sounds like it's conning
And
you.
then here we have these little guys.
AirPods Pro
AirPods
3.
Pro, which are vastly uncomfortable.
AirPods Pro, like Surgeons General.
They truly barely fit in my ear. Like they fit, but they don't go
Well,
in.
see, that's the reason I'm
I
happy
don't
about
know.
them
Are they
because
good?
people seem to have very different reactions. There's some people who anything in their ear, like remember our friend Lori Gill?
Yes.
Anything in her ear would be incredibly painful. She just could not do the
Well,
tips
they
at
don't
all.
really fit in your ear. As long as I
They fit
don't
in
try
my
to
ear
shove
tiny.
them in the ear, they fit into
Yes,
the
they're
space.
on the in the ear.
They're on the
They're
in
not
the ear.
on
They're
the ear. They're
in
not in the ear. They're on the in the ear.
Yes, which it's okay. I just think I'm gonna lose them.
Yes.
Like they don't fit, except like
Well,
they.
but
as long as
you
I'm
and
not
I both have
dancing.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu mangled ears too.
I don't think I do. I'm sorry. I
Did
take
you not work as hard
offense
as
to
you
that.
and your husband?
I think that I won my fights faster.
Oh! Did you wear a head guard like a helmet?
I have before,
Okay.
but no, I didn't.
No, you
usually
won your
wear a head
faster.
guard. But look, no, I still they're still
Yeah,
they're
mine are
still
a mess.
perfected little ears. I think.
Yeah,
I
all
don't
right.
know. You can hate on the ears,
But they are tiny.
They're small.
Yeah.
But they fit in. But I don't
But it's
think
like
that they'll stay.
I think it's good that we have the option though, because like me, I need the in-ear thing. I need them to stay in. They just won't stay in that way. But some people do find them really painful.
Right.
So this has the shape of the OG, like the idea that Johnny Ive Patakian form ear. Remember he scanned everybody's ears. He brought all those people in. It was
Yes.
and now Apple has apparently been doing that. I forget who said it, like Greg Josbeck or something, that they still scan a tremendous amount of ears every year. They've scanned billions and billions, not billions, but thousands of ears to try to figure out
Right.
one shape that would rule them all. And it's about like 80% of people, 80% of the time, I feel. Everyone else needs silicone tips if you can take them.
So what makes these earpods good?
They have longer battery life. They give an hour extra battery life per pod, 30 hours for the case. And they also work with spatial audio now, which I think is terrific. That's when it makes the virtual sound stage around you. So everything sounds like it's in a different space and time. They basically so there's two things about these that you will have to explain to me, Georgia. One is they got rid of the double tap, which always felt like I was beating my own brainstem. And now they have like a clicky button.
Yes.
But it's like the trackpad on the MacBook. It's not really clicking. It's proprioceptive sophistry. And they
Yes.
also play with time. They delay sounds by micro instants of time, so they sound closer or further away. Like nothing's really 3D. There's not a bunch of speakers around you, but because they play with the time and place, it sounds like things are at different places.
Well, yes, because that's the way that our ears tell where we see things, is that if something is right in the center, it should come to both of our ears exactly at the same time. If it's a little bit off to the side, it will go to the closest ear first, and then we will know that it is a little bit to the left. And if it's much more to this ear, it will know that. If it is louder or clearer, we know that it is closer. And if it is more muffled, it is further. And so by playing with little tiny microseconds, space changes. Well, so is the little tapping.
Yes, yeah.
The click is a lie as
It's
well.
a horizontal vibration that our fingers are reading as a vertical click.
Yes, because it also has the click noise.
Yes.
And without the click noise, the vibration would not be as beneficial. But with the click noise and the little tiny vibration, we read that as a click. So click noise, like everyone knows what a click noise is, from the mouse to the trackpad lies, and now so does the earpod. But that click noise was always we press in. And so much so then when it first came out on the MacBooks, I really did believe that it was moving. Like I actually looked at it, I was really like, there's no way.
We were Penn and Teller, and it was like fooled. Well, you couldn't say anything because I'm Teller. You know. Anyway, hold up the sign, and it said "fooled us." That's what we did. We'd hold up the sign. We said "fooled us."
Yes.
They came. They took their plaque, and they left. And they keep doing it.
They keep on doing it. So that works out really well, but no colors.
No colors.
It's still...
It's so weird because every other Apple product, the colors are on the entry level, the consumer brand, all the colored iPhones, the colored iPads, the colored iMacs, all of that is on the low end. Even the HomePods now, but the high end is the AirPods.
But what is so up with, yes, and they have many different colors.
I don't have a colored model.
It's still, you know.
What color are yours?
Well, here we go.
Oh, there's a color.
You have colored
Yes.
models here. So you have different colors. Mine's also the space gray, but at least you can't, I would be fine with having space gray or black, just not white.
Yes.
I don't like white. I don't like
iconic.
white objects.
It's every iTunes app.
I don't care.
How can you be an individual if you don't conform?
Right. That's for Apple. That's not for me. And this is closer to an accessory than my HomePod. Like, I understand you want to accessorize your home, but you want to accessorize what is in your ear. And I would love it to be like aluminum or chrome or like just something that looks shiny and pretty, because like an earring, it would be in my ear and then I would like to wear it more.
Fair. Totally fair.
Yeah.
Fair. They also, although you're burying them under AirPods Max now, is a new MacBook.
Go for it. Show it off.
And on the back.
I don't know if I love that.
The writing?
Yeah.
You gotta love the writing. It's awesome.
No.
It says MacBook on the back. How can you not love that?
What did it used to say on the bottom?
Nothing. That's the very old one.
I like this one though because it glowed.
Yeah, that was a glowing.
Nothing.
It said nothing.
It said nothing.
No,
Well, it's
nothing.
fine. It doesn't need to. You have the Apple. Like, I'm just gonna say, like you know what it is. Well, I guess maybe you don't know what type of computer it is.
Yeah, so this is like, goes back to that old MacBook. This is like Apple reversing the last 5 years of MacBook.
Yes, it's
giving
flat.
you back all the ports.
It is no longer rounded, giving you back some of the ports.
Well,
I will speak for not
but that
all
had
the
no
ports.
USB-C. This has no USB-A, but that had no USB-C.
I like USB-A. I'm just saying, if
But
you have
it's
to
old.
choose a port.
Oh, no, because the USB-C has like Thunderbolt. It can do power. It is just such a better port.
Yeah, but I have so many things.
Yes, but your old broke cables are going to be more and more broken.
They couldn't give me one.
All right, so hold on. If the more those cables break, the more you get new stuff, those ports will be useful for you. You can't like go and put new ports in this. So like in 5 years from now, when no one even remembers USB-A, you'll still be able to use this. You won't be able to go and retroactively change the ports.
No, but you could have just given it to me, and now
But then
I
it'd
could
be a
use
dead
it
port.
now. And eventually it'll be a dead port, but let's just say it's going to be a dead MacBook as well.
That's like 10 years. They're great.
Without a port.
But like this has already got SD and HDMI on it. Those are basically dead ports to me now. I can't plug a power into those. I can't plug Ethernet into those. I can't do anything with those.
So then why couldn't they give me USB-A?
God, you're trying to torture me. I'd lose another stupid USB-C port. 3 people would have USB-A. I'm so salty about these ports.
I don't like to have to use dongles. They're stupid and ugly and
But
expensive.
you always need dongles. Like FireWire 400, FireWire 800, DisplayPort, mini DisplayPort,
I
DVI,
don't need them.
dual link
Some
DVI.
people might need them, but let's just choose the ports that most people use.
You got them.
No. No.
Yeah, no, there are people who are angry because like all their stuff is still. See, it's funny because when you read like tech Twitter or tech YouTube, everybody wants USB-C for everything. Like get rid of Lightning, get rid of everything else, make everything USB-C. But then you have this swath of mainstream people who are like, everything I have is Lightning or USB-A. My car is USB-A. No one's going to change my car.
Yes, just give me one. One.
There's really a disconnect between tech Twitter, tech YouTube, and like humans, I think.
I don't know. I don't know why they choose to, port deny us.
Well, but that's their thing. Remember the original Mac threw out the floppy disk and went all in on USB-C USB to begin with?
Yeah.
Yeah, proud tradition. Deleting ports since 1980. No.
Well, they've
1984?
no
Maybe.
doubt noticed that only having one
1993,
port
sorry,
doesn't
Devin.
work because they're adding them in again.
Yes.
So
Well, but again, you see, like everyone's like Apple's listening. But they're listening. They can never listen to everybody. There's just such a big market that everyone's going to have their own personal opinion. Like I'm sure if you asked 100 people, you get a fairly wide. Like it would be like mostly centered, but you'd have some differences.
Would actually say, "Do you believe?" In 100 people, if we actually did ask them, how many people would say, "I am offended by an extra port on my MacBook"? How many? You would be the only one. You're
we don't
the
know.
only one.
You could ask 100 Renes.
I'll ask 100. No, I'm not going to ask 100 Renes. I'm going to ask
100 Renes survey, top 10 answers on the board.
If they would be offended by having
No, you can't ask Twitter. Twitter is so offended by everything. Twitter is the most offended. It only exists for people to be offended.
Let's put it up. Hashtag more ports. Hashtag less ports.
But you have to choose. You can't just have more ports. You have to
Why
choose
not? Why?
because there's
Why
a
do I have to
limit to how
choose?
much bandwidth that you can supply to anything. So you've got to choose which ports you get and how powerful each port is.
Just one more port. That's all I want.
But then they have to add another controller, like another bus for that port, and then it takes up space on the chip.
Please
that takes space on the thing.
add it. You could add a millimeter of thickness.
But they
to
did
it.
that.
No one's gonna care.
They added a third one just for this one.
one
They already
more.
added
One
another
more.
one.
That's fine.
It's always one more. One more Big Mac.
Just one.
One more trip to the moon. When you're not spending Tim Cook's money.
Spending Tim Cook's money. He
Pocket
has
change.
enough money
His pocket
to
change.
give to all of us. I don't think that he's for want, and I definitely don't think that Apple is for want.
No, but we all want to spend their money in slightly different ways all the time.
They're spending their money anyways.
They are, yes, but we
Yeah.
want to spend it too. That's like a favorite internet game.
I'll just say that they are there for me to buy their products.
Yes.
So actually, I'm the consumer.
But
they work for me.
It's fair to say your kids would spend your money slightly differently than you do, right?
Possibly, yes.
Yes. And they couldn't get everything they wanted, right? Like they can't have everything.
No, they can't get everything that
So
they
there are
wanted.
like limits to what
There's
they can get.
definitely limits to it.
So but you might be happy ditching like the SD card for a USB A
No, I
thing.
want the SD card as well.
Then you might be happy ditching the HDMI.
No, give me that as well.
You might be happy ditching the MagSafe.
Nope, I love the Mag. Bringing back the MagSafe though, let's just say it. I don't know why they ever got rid of it.
They wanted you to be able to charge from anywhere. Like they fell in love with the idea of a universal port, one port that could do everything.
Right.
That could carry everything.
And then they went back because people started knocking over their computers and breaking them.
I don't know. Well, I don't know if that's as much the reason, but that USB-C kind of turned into a nightmare where nobody knows. Like, it should be a standard. Like, you have a USB-C cable. You just plug it in and it works. But there's so many different kinds of USB-C.
Right.
And, like, USB power delivery, USB-C for, like, data connections, the speed of the data connections. Some are 40 gigabits, some are not. Some can do, like... This MagSafe is technically USB Power Delivery 2.1. It's one of the very first implementations, and it can go over 100 watts. But the other USB standards can't. They're only up to 100 watts. So if it didn't look like MagSafe, how would you know what to plug in there?
I wouldn't. I've actually plugged in the wrong voltage because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And slowly it's just overheating.
There was a guy, a Google engineer, who went through Amazon and explained every cable because some of them were actually dangerous if you plug them in wrong.
Right.
So there's nothing better than a standard to really screw things up.
Right, exactly.
But like, what do you think of like it's another one of these retro future designs?
I don't know how you
kind
say
of-
retro and future together. That's kind of a juxtaposition.
Because they go, it's like the iPhone. It looks a little bit like the iPhone 4, but it's clearly like an evolved version. This looks a lot like the titanium PowerBook, but it's
Yes.
an evolved version. So it's like an homage. You know, like it's got retro vibes.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful machine. It's not very heavy.
It's heavier though.
It's heavier, and the sound is phenomenal.
Yeah, the speakers
Though
are.
I
a
don't
treat.
love the little tiny finger graters.
Those are what's keeping it cool.
Air vents, yeah.
People said
They're-
that computers were being throttled too much
No,
by the thermals.
I understand it, but I don't know how these air vents. I just see cheese. I see cheese going into these. It's like a cheese grater. It's a cheese slicer. I see cheese being fit into this, or like Cheeto dust.
Is there a phenomenon that describes how you attribute dairy products to certain shapes on your computers?
Because it's very satisfying to squeeze stuff that is soft and mush that would just squeeze in and be stuck there
I like
forever.
the kids who used to
what
put
would you do?
peanut butter sandwiches into the VCRs.
Yes, or like pastrami
that,
or
kids.
something,
Don't do
bologna
that.
to put into the DVD
It's a lot
player.
of bologna.
But what would you do? Is that covered under warranty? Is cheese covered under warranty?
Do they have a rating for cheese ingress? Is that what you're asking?
I don't
Maybe
know.
there's a
Do
mesh
they have a
inside.
sensor
I don't know. A
for
cheese
cheese?
Well, they have like the little pink sensors for water.
Water.
Yeah.
But cheese could be worse.
Yeah. Another thing that's super interesting about these products, just as we segue here, is that they're increasingly made of recycled materials. recycled aluminum. They're recycling a lot of the material that goes into the bands. They're putting a lot more of the magnets, the rare earth elements that they put into the magnets. They're recycling a lot more so that they can have to remove a lot less.
Yes, Rene, isn't that wonderful for the environment?
Well, I mean, I don't know how wonderful. Like that's one of the things about tech is that, and this can be a whole long discussion, is that they love to pick small things that affect consumers a lot,
right,
and not big things that actually like affect the environment a lot. Like, right, you can have giant companies that do horrible things to the environment, and there's not a shred of regulation around that. But like the EU, if they see us using two kinds of cables, man, they're going to stop us.
Come down with
straws
the hammer.
If you're using the wrong kind of straw. Yeah, that's interesting too, because I feel like we buy into that. You know, because it personalizes it. Like, what can you do for the environment?
Yes.
Me compared to a giant mining or petrochemical company cannot, or forest company. Yes, but they make me feel like I can, and then they regulate me instead.
Well, that's what they happened with recycling, is so that the companies wouldn't have to deal with waste. They kind of said, like, oh, make sure that you recycle. Be careful what you do to put the onus back on us, instead of these large companies that kind of get away with polluting our environments.
Yeah, but like is that something that we're happier to buy? But when we feel like we have a personal stake, are we more likely to buy in?
Well, when we feel like we have a personal stake, we no longer feel powerless.
Yeah.
And not feeling powerless is really innate to our psyche. And then we feel like we can do something about it. And when you see horrible things happening and you say, well, at least I can do something to make a difference, we feel good. The problem is that it doesn't kind of keep the feet to the fire of companies that need to be held accountable for their actions.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to me too, because for a long time it was like it was all the marketing, the packaging was around save the earth, where the earth is going to be fine. Like, we'll have impact for sure, but there's that old story about, you know, Earth chose to have life, Mars didn't, and Mars is super happy. Earth's like the dinosaurs are all gone, and the Earth is still here.
Not all gone.
Well, they're birds, but I mean, like, my greater point being made here is that if humans were no longer on the Earth itself would go on.
Yes, the Earth would go on, and life would rehappen.
Short of like detonating antimatter that would rip the planet in half. Like the planet's going to go on; it'll keep spinning.
Will go on.
We not so much.
We not so much. We're really just defeating ourselves.
But the marketing is all even about save the Earth, save the planet, when it should really be like save your own asses, because it's going to get ugly.
Yes, but again, we think about just the here and now, and we want our conveniences, and we don't want to suffer, and we don't want to go through things that are difficult unless things get really bad, where then we're like, okay, now it's a rock and a hard spot.
Yeah. We're very good, like, people in general are very good at mortgaging tomorrow, like the mortgaging pain of tomorrow for the convenience of today.
Yes.
We don't have good long-term thinking.
We have short-term sighting.
Is that evolutionary?
It kept us in the here and now, and most of the things that were dangerous were in the here and now. There wasn't long term. There was really
dinosaurs.
Just today and
shit.
tomorrow. And tomorrow.
Birds, vicious dinosaur creatures. So bringing this all together in Georgia's video and my video, which will be going live around the same time as this video, and in this video, we wanted to spend just a couple minutes talking to you about hashtag Team C's.
Team C's.
You're not hashtagging. Hashtag Team C's. So it's the continuation, or the sequel. The sequel, it's the Empire Strikes Back to the Team Trees Star Wars.
Right.
It's the Wrath of Khan to the Team Trees motion picture.
Right.
I'm going to keep talking about sequels. It's the Dune 2 to the Dune of something like that. You know, maybe Desert Planet's the wrong analogy here. And what they want to do is the last big YouTube collab project led by Jimmy Donaldson, Mr. Beast, and Mark Rober, former Apple engineer, former NASA engineer, was to get everyone together so that for every dollar you contributed, they would plant a tree. And that initiative went gangbusters, but they were not content. They were like, okay, we've done the land, now to the seas.
Yes,
the Team
Waterworld
C's.
time.
Waterworld, yes. Jason Momoa in Aquaman, not Jason Momoa in Dune. Jason goes everywhere. So what it does this time is for every dollar you donate, you contribute, they're going to pull
1 pound.
1 pound of pollution,
lot.
debris,
Plastic.
dirt, humanities out of the sea. So I'm going to make sure I get this right. I have the exact what they're doing in front of me. They're partnering with Ocean Conservancy and the Ocean Cleanup, and all the donations to Team C's will be split by those two charities, 50-50. $1 equals 1 pound of trash removed. So literally every donation counts. The reason we're doing this, all of us are doing this, I think thousands and thousands of YouTubers are doing this. pause for a second. It's just so good to see the community come together.
It is, and to do something that actually makes a difference.
Not like just downvoting YouTube rewind, but like actually using our powers for good.
Yes, that might be good as well, but this was better.
So you go to the site, teamseas.org, and you'll be able to donate there. And if you have any questions, have any concerns, if you want to know more about it, more details, how exactly it's all been implementing, teamseas.org is going to have all the information there. The way I think about it is, I live on a river. You live really close to a river. Montreal is an island. People forget that. Montreal is an island.
We forget that.
And we have a bunch of islands around us. Like there's Île Jésus and Île Bizarre and Île, I don't know if Laval is an island or just a city. Anyways, there's just so many islands here.
There's a lot of water in this world.
Yeah, so there's a lot of water. But like when you go there, you always see stuff in it. Like it's not clean. Like I don't even think you can swim.
There is right now,
here.
there is even in the Mariana Trench at the deepest point, they found plastics. And every single creature that you bring up, they find plastics and microplastics and dirt and debris, and animals get suffocated and eat it and get caught by it. It is a really big deal. We've been using the water that we need to survive and that we feed off of the animals and the plankton and the algae that we need to survive as a dumping ground.
Yes,
and
we've been using our fountain as a toilet.
Yes.
Yes.
Our drinking fountain.
Yes.
And then drinking from it after and wondering why we don't feel great.
Yeah. And so this is, and some people are going to say, what can a bunch of dumb YouTubers do? And a lot, because it's not just us. It is all of you. It is, sure, 1,000 creators coming together, but millions and millions of people in our collective audiences. And I feel good about this. Like, just because of the inspirational aspect, one, for the project itself, for Team Seas itself, because I wasn't certainly educated on this until I heard about it. I had to go and do a lot of research. I watched a lot of videos, read a bunch of stuff. I learned about it. But also I was inspired in how you can inspire people.
The nice part is that, like, anyone really can make a difference by putting their mind to it. I think that this is a really nice way to be able to donate, to support channels that you love, and also to know that every dollar that you are donating is going to a actual good cause.
Yeah.
And so I just want to say thank you so much to CuriosityStream for being able to help out and help the environment.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I just think I love that it's one of the things that Jimmy does really, really well. Like, he is a master at holding the attention of the internet age, and making it $1 for 1 pound is just so understandable. It's like $1 for one tree. Like you can see it makes it easier to understand what your personal impact is going to be.
Also, 1 pound of trash is a lot of trash.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you're putting down whatever 1 microgram. Like it's a lot. That's a lot of trash. So you're making a huge difference.
Some people will say we're such filthy creatures that what does a pound matter, because we're still throwing pounds and pounds in. But yes, every one of those pounds matter. If they were pelting you, you would like those pounds to stop.
Plus, it puts the onus of, like, we're cleaning this up, and when you've cleaned something up and done it yourself, and then you see people treating it poorly.
Yes.
You are much more invested in that because you have yourself tried to clean it. And so it also makes us think twice about the companies that we hold accountable, the ones that we don't, and the ones that we put money towards.
Yeah. It's that same phenomenon, I think. You tell me if I'm wrong. When you get a new car, you spend a lot of time keeping that car clean. If you get like an old rust bucket, you really don't care what it's like anymore.
It depending if you cleaned it. If you took that rust bucket and you spent all your time and
restoring
energy to make it look beautiful again, you're going to be really careful with the way that you treat it.
All right, so once again, huge thanks to CuriosityStream. For all of you, please go to, check out #TeamSeas wherever you see it today and in the days to come, and go to teamseas.org, and please donate what you can, because it is our cradle of life. It'll go on, we won't, so we have to take care of it. Now, we still do have a bonus segment for you on Nebula, so if you're watching us on Nebula, stay tuned for that. If you're not, if you're leaving us now, Georgia, where can people find you?
You can check me out on Twitter. It's at Georgia_Dow, or you can check out youtube.com/GeorgiaDow.
And no spoilers, but what is your Team Seas video about? Nice.
That doesn't seem scary.
Nice.
It doesn't seem scary.
You can find me at youtube.com/Rene Ritchie. And my video starts with a little intro from Jimmy. It'll be fun.
Very nice.
It'll be fun. And then we're going to talk about what Apple is doing, or maybe not doing, or doing for the environment. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.